How I wish that he were Elton John. Are you bantering with me? Are you actually having a laugh? It's Auntie Willie, and today I've been watching and reviewing Netflix Princess Diana. I didn't have any preconceptions going into it, but I've got a lot of views coming out of it, so stick with me and I'll be giving you the royal tea, darling. Firstly, there's a lot going on online about this show. Everyone's got views about it. Some people think it's a joke, some people think it's pretty good. Everyone's like, it has to be a parody, and some people are like, it's stunning. Again, mixed reviews. I want to get involved. I feel like there's this real trend right now to talk trash about musicals. I don't know, it's really crazy because like back in the days it used to be outsiders who used to talk trash about a community that we as theatre people love, and now it kind of feels like we're doing it to ourselves. It's this real trendy apparently to talk trash about the industry, and I'm like, don't really get it, but okay, if that's what it is. So maybe you're gonna watch this and think, ooh, she's gonna be dropping that tea, she's going for air shit. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna give you an honest analytical view of what I think about this. So yes, there'll be negative, yes, there'll be positive, but it won't be for cheap thrills or cheap laughs or, you know, to fit into a trend of just talking trash about musicals. It'll be my honest view, so let's get into it. Keeping it completely honest, the opening felt like a parody. It just sort of just started. There was no sort of like respecting of a pause. There was no, you know, orchestrations or anything leading up to it. It just happened, and you know, it's on Netflix, so I assume that because of the plan that someone had maybe started it already and paused it midway through, and I was like, well, why am I starting midway through? And I was like, oh wow, this is the beginning. It really starts like this. Okay, let's go. And I knew instantly by the lyrics as well that the inspiration and the potential for this sort of creative journey may be slighted. Oh no, this may be a simplistic journey on the creative side. That was my initial thoughts just by listening to the opening number, because the opening number sets up the show, right? You know, if someone goes in with quite a weak opening number, you're gonna go, okay, this is gonna be a long one. And I thought the opening number was meh. The set was beautiful. I think the performer, Gina or Jenna, I'm so sorry, I don't know which one's which, so please do leave a comment below on how to say it. I'm not talking about the actor herself, but if anyone knows. I thought she was stunning. I thought she was a great, sort of like, not a likely resemblance, but I can understand why she was cast for it. It was a very beautiful portrayal. So I thought there was a lot of good things happening as well, but the actual music was like, eh. This entire musical is devoid of subtext. Subtext has not entered the group chat. Everything is told to you, and I hate that. I hate it. I feel like the creatives worked as if the audiences were the dumbest people in the world. And I don't mean ignorant to the subject matter, because I do think, just as a subject point, it is a great story to tell. You think you know everything, but there's a lot more to learn. Her reign, I wasn't even born, so I liked the idea of learning more. But the actual way it was delivered, I felt everything was completely dumbed down. Subtext is so important, you know, it gives your audience a little bit of work to do. It's important for us not to feel like we're being spoon-fed information, like, I love you, I feel this is my heart, oh, she did this. Example, 3-letter words, I love you. A creative will find a much more exciting way of delivering that information as opposed to just those words. Whether it be through, you know, an actual scene of, oh, I can tell this person loves this person because they got them a rose or whatever. This is slightly less simplified. For someone who has lisps, I really should chill with these S's, boy. A slightly less simplified version of what we were given. Everything was almost too digestible. I was like, okay, stop force feeding me this information. I get it. I want to learn some of it. I don't just want to be force fed it. I can come to these conclusions myself, right? I do think the writing in itself, lack of a better term, was very simple. Some people enjoy easy watches, and I enjoy an occasional easy watch as well, but I didn't feel like it was purposeful. It kind of just felt like lazy writing, sorry. This Is How Your People Dance is one of the songs that they've released on social media, on YouTube. The thing that I really disliked about this particular number, just all very basic, and it felt like a parody at points. And I was like, what are you doing? I want to make it very clear that there is a fundamental difference between your enjoyability of a piece of art and your analysis of a piece of art. I'm analysing this and I find faults in it. But from an enjoyability perspective, there are moments that I still enjoyed even if I didn't respect the creative elements that were taking place. And so these were one of the songs where I enjoyed it and I probably would watch it over and over. But from a creative perspective, from a critiquing perspective, I was like, what is going on here? There's this line in this song as well, Freddie Mercury would slay it. And I've said this before in previous reviews about linguistic consistency, and this felt like such a cheap thrill, like, oh my God, I'm so gonna get the millennials with this number. So far removed from any form of truthful world that they were trying to create, that it was just a cheap thrill used to honestly gauge the interest of millennials. And I get it, millennials use social media. There's a reason why this song in particular is being used to advertise this show, but it's false, it's cheap, it doesn't need to happen. Not every musical needs a slay, a hey, a yas. It doesn't need that. And especially in this generation where a lot more musicals are like this, it's actually more of a standout to not have shows like this, you know. I'm quite interested in the next show that doesn't fall into this pattern. And don't get me wrong, the show I've literally written is completely like that, but it's also a millennial show. This is a show about Princess Diana, who became a princess or got married, what, 1981. Why is there any references to slaying? And you know what I mean, like, it's all just very cheap, and it's like, don't do this for cheap laughs, you know. Stay true to language that is true of the time. And I imagine if there was an audience there, they would have laughed, because this is a classic case of like misdirection, where you create a pattern, a safety, and then you misdirect really quickly, and so people go, ha ha ha, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Well, it's just a line, it's not a hill I'm willing to die on. A snap click song I actually really enjoyed. Definitely wasn't the most like inspired or exciting piece of music ever, and it all very much repeated, hence it becoming a bit of an earworm. I liked it because of the whole sort of aesthetic. I found that the costumes, the lighting, and the flashes of like the dark stage, I think it worked really well. It was really nice, and it's so truthful as well, isn't it? The whole press, especially the British media, Rupert Murdoch's world, leeches, trash. It's completely done justice on that stage and that song. The repetition as well, I kind of appreciate that in that moment, because it's kind of like the whole, I'm going to annoy you until you give me the information. I'm just going to keep repeating it. Diana, 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 blah, blah, blah. What you can imagine it would be has been changed into a snap click. That sort of repetition, it's sort of a symbolisation of the repetition of how much they would have been hounded. I like that. I think they did really well. What I don't think was done well was the actual pro shot, the edit of it. I think the pro shot in general was slighted. Our whole experience was like, what? There's this moment where like all the flashing's happening and there's this beautiful choreography. I know, even though it's super zoomed in, but I'm like, oh my God, why am I getting this like super close stalls experience when I want to be sat at a dress circle seeing it all happen? We had this restricted view, and I don't remember buying that seat. I hated some of the choices that were made in the edits, and I felt like we were robbed of some really great angles. Sometimes the best views is the overview, and we were so close at points that there was these beautiful glimpses of things happening behind Diana that I think would have been nice for the overall aesthetic that we just never got as audiences, because someone decided to zoom into her face. We get it, extreme close-ups are yum, but we also need to see what's happening. I want to see the choreography. I want to be able to speak to that, and I can't really in this. I can't say the choreography was so inspired, it was so amazing, oh my gosh, give them a big round of applause, because I didn't see most of it, because someone decided to give me a restricted view. A lot of the songs were simple, you know. If you don't agree, fine, let me know in the comment section, but they were simple. They were like basic chord progressions, simplistic rhyming schemes. You could sort of guess what the final word of each couplet would be. It was like, what is going on here? And the thing is with like really simple rhyming schemes and things like that, they should become earworms. These should be the songs that you remember the most because they're so basic. It's like nursery rhymes, right? Da, 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 da. The simple you keep them, the easier it is to remember. But for some reason, all these songs were forgettable. Oh wait, this is how you people, this is how you people dance. Only because it's advertised everywhere, am I right? I always say when I'm enjoying a musical, I want more musical. I don't notice the music is happening. That sort of dialogue to song ratio is just non-existent in my head because I'm just lost in the moment. I mean, I've completely escaped. They have my heart. But when I'm very conscious of a song taking place, it's probably because I'm not enjoying the experience. And so I was very conscious. Again, fundamental differences between enjoying something and thinking it's good. I don't think this musical is good but I enjoyed myself and I would probably watch it again. And that's just the tea. The world fell in love with Diana. I liked it for, I guess, symbolic reasons, you know, that she's portrayed as endearing, as kind as I've heard, you know, I think that was really sweet. And I think there were loads of moments like that throughout the show where we really got a glimpse into her kindness and why people loved her, and said she, and still to this day, is the most loved royal ever. Pretty sure growing up my mum had like a picture of her on the wall and I thought, who is this white woman? Is she my aunt? Now obviously the Camilla, Charles, Diana storyline, it goes hand in hand, you know what I mean? Like they coexist, they're mutually exclusive, and so we did see parts of that sort of like trickled throughout, and I always assumed I would hate Camilla, not hate her, that's a strong word, I don't hate anything, but dislike Camilla. I thought that would be the interpretation that I would get, and I didn't get that at all. I think her biggest crime was loving Charles. That was it, that was what she was charged with, I guess. I love him indefinitely, and I think Charles instead usurped and took that role of villain. We need to talk about Charles and his betrayal. We need to talk about it. I've got some things to say. Charles was played by Roe Hart-Trump. I'm the worst at pronouncing names. I'm so sorry, and I genuinely am trying as well. I don't have any issue with his betrayal. You know, he did a great job with material he was given. I have an issue with the writing of his actual part, the character development. He is completely one-dimensional. There are no layers to this character whatsoever. He is just what he is. I get that this is a retelling of a true event, but there are also different perspectives, and in interpretations of one event there lies many different truths. And I don't believe we got this real overview of truths. It was all just like, this is who he is. You know, he's bad to Diana and he's great to Camilla. It's that black and white. And I don't believe that that could be, I don't know, it feels like I'm challenging a truth here. Some people may say, you know, if you watch Jesus Christ Superstar, don't feel like you can sit there debating whether he should have been like put on the cross, kind of in the Bible, babe. I think his negative characteristics were overplayed to, I don't know, heighten her positivity, and I don't think that ratio was right. It was like, what's going on here? Why is he so one-leveled? There has to be a grey area because she loves him, right? You know, there's a motive for her loving him, so we needed to see the human in that human. And I'm not saying we should glorify what was clearly toxic behaviours. I'm saying humans still have layers, and he had none. And if we have no change from him and he's just, you know, presented in this one very, you know, one-dimensional way, then the character is void of arc, journey, and honestly interest. There was no edge. I get it, he's a dick. By the end of it, he's still a dick. What have I learned? It was lazy writing, you know. And I'm not saying you need to change the truth to make a character more interesting. I'm saying there needs to be more to this character that you show us, or it becomes a very, very biased look into this royal family. And again, I'm not Team Charles. I'm not saying he was great. Absolutely not. I'm saying there were probably moments and parts of him that were great, which is why Diana loved him. And we should have seen that. And I think seeing the truth in him would have still kept her as positive and as amazing as she was. We didn't need to go so far to the point we would have booed him if it was a panto, you know, just to have her light. She had that light anyway. Oof. When they confirmed that Diana had died, the lights were sort of like flickering. That was beautiful. That was aesthetically pleasing, and the editors gave me the wide shot that I deserved from the beginning. Happiness and Simply Breathe was undoubtedly my favourite number throughout. I thought it was stunning. I think Gina was stunning when delivering it. Her voice, oof, and that emotion, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I need a prince to save me from my prince. How can I survive when it hurts to be alive? That literally made me go, oof, you know, not the most advanced, you know, words in the world, but just paired together and put together in that way really did touch me. And I felt quite sad. I think I got a little bit teary. I was like, oh, Diana, why did they do you like that, Diana? I genuinely felt so sad for her, and we finally got a pro shot moment they should have been proud of, and that's when, after she said that very couplet, she turned and punched, and we got this beautiful angle, like the camera was set up right behind it, and there was already blood on her hands. I'm not quite sure how they did that. There was blood there before. I don't know. Either way, it was gorgeous. I loved it. They should have been proud of that. That's where we need those close-ups, you know? I'd have been very sad if that was the one moment they chose to give us a wide shot. I'd have been like, are you joking me? I've been dying for it, begging for it, and you give it to me right now. I would have been dead. I did enjoy it, and I will watch it again, and that might surprise people because there are a lot of things that I critique about it. Again, the differences, but there are a lot of things that I enjoyed. Even though I know these things weren't great, I still enjoyed the moment. You know when you go out and everything goes wrong, but you still had a banging day? It was kind of like that, so... yeah, I absolutely recommend you watch it. I really, really do. I think some of you would really, really enjoy it. Some of you won't. Some of you won't enjoy it just because it's trendy not to enjoy things now. Really weird, like weird flex, but go off. I hope you guys take the time and, you know, analyze it through the fact that art is still happening and yeah, we're still getting pro shots and it's so exciting that Netflix is supporting musicals. But also be truthful. If you hate it, you hate it. It is what it is. But I liked it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate you guys. Let me know what you want me to review next and please subscribe. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you.